Hello everyone, this is Angie at Stamping with Amore, and today is card tutorial day, and I created this super cute baby card. I love this stamp set. I just can't get enough of it right now. I've been really fooling around with it and playing a lot with it, but I love this little card. And for some reason I love when the baby cards are square and not the regular 5.5 by 4 1/4. I like the square look, and for this one it's 5 by 5, so it's a pretty good size. You can make it smaller by taking one of these other layers off, but I really love the layers in it. And you can create your own with your Stampin' Up punch board. You can create your own envelope, and that's what I'm going to do for this. I actually have a friend having a little baby girl, so this is the card that I'm going to use. I splattered the background. I don't know if you can see. I'm going to show you really close because it's so adorable, this little baby. And I am using watercolor paper for this. And the reason, it gives it so much more texture. And I actually using my aqua pen and my inks to color it. So you can use a blender pen, or if you don't have the watercolor paper, you can use your thick Whisper White, and just be really careful you don't put too much water on it, but you can watercolor on it. So this is the card I'm sharing today. So let's go ahead and get started with it. And the first thing that you're going to need is, of course, your base card. So this is 5 by 10, and I scored it in half at 5, so it's a 5 by 5 card. And then for your piece of basic black, you're going to need 4.5 by 4.5. And then I'm using this designer series paper, and this is our new designer series paper. It's called Falling in Love, and I have to show you this because it's absolutely gorgeous. This is the other side of it. It's all double-sided. Here's the other side, and it's got butterflies. I could use that side also because I've got the blue in there, but I'm going to stick with that. And look at the hearts. And you may have seen this if you watched my haul, but they look like they're printed, some of them. I mean, it's absolutely gorgeous paper. And one side looks like it's printed like a photo. Like, look at that lace. And then the other side is like a regular designer series paper. But look at how beautiful these prints are. This is perfect for like wedding showers or for wedding gifts, and I think I'm going to make a wedding treat bag or something using this paper in the future. So that's the paper I used, and this is 4 1/4 by 4 1/4. And then this is the watercolor paper, and it's 4 by 4. So let's go ahead and stamp this piece first. And when you're watercoloring, you want to use Memento ink because you don't want your ink to run. You don't want to use like the basic black archival or the basic black because it does have a tendency to run. You need either, I think, StazOn or the Memento black work the best for that. When you're using the StazOn, make sure it's dry before you start coloring it. That's just one little tip I have. Alright, so we are going to center this, and when it's the watercolor paper, I'll hold it down for a minute and then just lift straight up, and there you have your image. So I'm going to also put the Hello Baby on here. And this is all from the same stamp set. Let me show you the set. I forgot to do that. So this is the stamp set. Look how adorable. It's called Moon Baby, and it's got the cutest sentiments too. So that's the stamp set. And I'm using the Hello Baby also from this stamp set. So hopefully I'll get this straight since I'm not looking over it. So there's our Hello Baby. And then we're ready to watercolor it. So the colors I'm using are Daffodil Delight, Pool Party, and Flirty Flamingo. And how I do this when I'm coloring is I just press the ink pad down, and you can see that the ink is there. I'll use my watercolor pencil. I'm just going to open one ink at a time. And make sure you press it so that the water comes down to the point, and you want to make sure it's clean each time, so I usually just wipe it on my mat. And then you're just going to pick up your ink, and you can shade this different if you want, like keep it concentrated. I like it darker on the bottom half, and then I'll just work my way up. So super simple to watercolor when you have your aqua painter. You can see I'm just kind of pulling the color up because I want it to be a little bit shaded. And I'm probably going to have to pick up a little bit more ink, but I'll wipe it off and then continue. So it gives it some shading. And you can keep going over it if you want it a little bit darker. I just look and see how I like it, and just, so that is that part. So wipe off in between your colors. So we're going to do the little, we should have done this one blue, but that's okay. I've got all the cardstock colored, but we're going to use the Flirty Flamingo for its little pajamas. And I love the watercolor paper, gives it so much texture. It's really pretty. Again, you can shade it how you want. I usually try to go over it lightly, and then I'll just kind of go back over it and grab maybe a little bit more ink. Like I want the little patch to be a little bit darker, so I'll go over that a couple times. And then maybe like in the creases. So just use your own judgment. If you need more ink on your lid, just press more ink. Okay, so that is Flirty Flamingo. And then I'm going to use some crumb cake for its hair, and this is going to be a little tiny bit, but it does add to it. It gives it just that little. And then for the star, we're going to use some Pool Party. On the little star on the other one, I actually added some Wink Stella to it, and it's really cute. I don't know if you could have seen it when I showed it to you. So I want this side of the star to be a little bit darker. So there we have that. Oh, and also I used a little tiny bit of Flirty Flamingo. I actually just wiped it off, and I just made the cheeks a little pink. I thought that was really, really sweet. Alright, so that part's done. Now we're going to open the Pool Party again, and we're going to splatter this. And how I do this, you have to have a lot of water on your tip. So I just keep squeezing it until the water starts dripping out. Oop. And I'm going to add a little bit more here so I have enough. And you're going to just pick up your ink, and I'll squeeze it again because you really want it really wet and dripping. And then you're just going to tap it. So every time you do this, naturally you're going to get a different look. So I think that's good. I don't want to overdo it because I don't want it to take away from that cute little baby. So let's clean our brush off again, and we're ready to put it all together. I'm going to go ahead and wait to add the Wink Stella because I want to make sure this is totally dry. So I'm just going to set it aside. Now for this part, I went ahead and I'm going to just attach this part to this designer series paper first. So I'm going to use my Fast Fuse because you want a strong adhesive. You know what? I'm going to wait a minute because I could see my little specks are still a little wet and I don't want to smear it. So let's do this part after. I originally did it first, but I'm going to go ahead and use some dimensionals and add them to, you know, after you do all that work, you don't want it to all smear. So I'm going to add some dimensionals to the back here. And I did pop up two of these layers, and it just gives it so much more dimension. I really love when it has that dimension to it. So we're going to put these dimensionals on. All right, so let's center this. I always hope I'm centering it when I do these because I really can't see unless I'm over it. A lot of times I stand up when I'm doing this. So, all right, let's add this to the background. Hopefully I'm not going to smear it. But you want a really strong adhesive on here because this watercolor paper is really thick and it's textured. I see it coming off on here. See, I did smear it a little, but it looks okay. It looks really cute actually. All right, so center this on here. And then we're going to pop this piece up also. This paper is so pretty. I love both sides on all of these paper, designer series paper stack. I almost don't want to use it because it's so pretty, but it's going to make some really pretty cards and bags. Okay, we got them all off. And let's center this one. And then we are going to add our Wink of Stella. Now this is the clear Wink of Stella that I'm using. So this also you have to squeeze to make it come out, but we're just going to put it on the little star, that's all. It's so cute. And then the last thing I'm going to do is I'm going to use some of our enamel shapes here, and I'm going to use the heart, and I'm just going to put it down by the Hello Baby, just down in the corner here. And these are our in color enamel shapes here. So that's it. Isn't that adorable? I just love this little card. It's so, so sweet. So you can see the two different looks. Of course, I did smear that, but I think it looks cute like that. It's very original. But anyway, that's the project today. If you liked it, give me a thumbs up. And if you haven't subscribed to my channel yet, please subscribe. I really appreciate it. And if you need any supplies, you could go to my blog at stampingwithamore.com. I hope you all have a blessed week, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.